came across this location today just by driving around, and although I don't think it's abandoned, it looks like it hasn't been used for the winter time, but there's a lot of cool pieces of equipment here I wanted to show. As you can see, right up behind the equipment looks like mounds of silt or coal. There's a bunch of pieces here. You can tell how massive this is just by the blade on this. I'm gonna put the camera down and show you for comparison how big it is compared to me. You can see I'm 5'11". This thing towers over me. This is a massive blade on this dozer. Here we have an old front end loader. Looks like they ripped the motor out of it. The size of these tires. This one's almost like a slick. It's like for like drag racing. Never seen one that bald before. I've always had a fascination with heavy equipment like this. When I was younger, I don't know, I was less than 10 years old, but my father used to operate heavy equipment for a quarry. And I remember he used to take me up there and let me sit in the seat with him and steer the wheel as we drove around. So every time I saw a piece of equipment like that, I've always been intrigued by it, and at one time thought about doing this as a career, but this never panned out. It's just hard to imagine how massive these are, and my guess is they were probably used for a strip mine operation back here, maybe. I can only imagine how many tons of dirt that could hold. Here we have a dump truck. I know them as ukes, they're called. They're also called rock trucks, but you can see this one has dual wheels on the back, but it's missing the bed of it. Like a massive fuel tank here. These wheels, I mean, I'm going to put the camera at my height. That's how tall I am right now. It's the top of my head, and there's still that much more. These are probably about 8 feet tall. Here's a front look at that. Doesn't look like it's very old, but missing the windshield, and like I said, the dump body on it's gone. There's even a larger one there. Yeah, these are pretty impressive, I gotta tell you. I think the ones my father drove weren't as big as this, because this was going over probably 25-30 years ago. And they were old, like lime green color ukes he drove. Here's another comparison, just how big and gigantic these are. It's almost like an office building that you're driving around. It's gigantic. You're standing between them, it's like you're standing between two buildings. There's all the filters. It's 2017, like I said, I don't think these are abandoned. They're just sitting dormant for the winter. Most of these look like they're in operating condition. It's just pretty cool to see them. I just kind of saw them sitting along the side of a old dirt road. Gotta be pretty awesome to drive these around. I mean, to do this as a full-time career. And that one's got a flat tire. I don't know if anyone's watching. If you guys know like the year of these or anything about them, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Like I said, I don't know very much about them. I just know my father used to operate them. That's how I've grown to love them. There's another front end loader. It's got dual stacks up there, smokestacks or exhaust stacks. Lots of lighting. You literally got to climb up a ladder to get to the top of it. That's pretty crazy. Alright, what I'm about to show you is the reason why I pulled in here. This item right here is what caught my eye and what I wanted to showcase. This has to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, excavator I've ever seen. This thing is a monster. Looking at this in the camera doesn't do it justice. I'm going to put the camera down and it's going to show you in comparison to me how large this thing is. This is just the bucket alone. It's huge. You can see the huge arm on it. And if you look to the size of those hydraulic lines, those are 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches thick. Much larger than any ordinary hydraulic lines. I mean, just the stance on this thing alone, it's almost like a sumo wrestler. It just has a huge wide stance. It definitely draws a lot of attention. And there's the operating cab up there. You're basically sitting, well, 3 stories up. You can see the amount of grease built up here too. Here's like the huge turntable. I don't know what the actual name of it is, but it rotates on top of this like a turntable, but all that grease. This is just piled up. It's got these big metal tracks. Here we are at the back of it, and you could literally walk underneath it. It's up into the core of it, the engine. It's just feet and feet of lines and pumps and hoses and everything. Very impressive. One thing I did notice is right there in the center, There's a big drum of guessing, oh yeah, grease. So I don't know if that's like pumped throughout the equipment here, or if they just use that when they need grease. I think that's a 50-gallon drum of grease though. Here's the decking right above us. Like I said, if I'm misquoting anything, I apologize. I don't know too much about these, just the basics. So if there's anything you're willing to share that you know differently than I do, please comment. Like I said, I'm pretty fascinated with these. I just never follow through with my career path to do this, but this still really neat to look at. Alright everyone, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Like I said, this is kind of a spare of the moment thing. We're just driving around looking for a location, and the one we found didn't work out. So we stumbled upon this one, and it's pretty cool. Like I said, it's not abandoned. Although some of this equipment looks like it's not going to run anymore, it's still an active property, so obviously don't try to come here if you know where it's at. The only reason I stopped is because there's no tracks. Looks like it hasn't been used for a few months, so other than that, if you guys want to see similar videos to this, let me know in the comments section. You already know, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.